Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard 101 video. Today I decided that I would go over the new Lemuria crafted gear. It's also dropped from the boss. If you remember, similar to Caramel, it's both dropped and crafted, so if you decide you want to craft it from the lesser gear, you can do that as well. Just gives you different options. They have the exact same stats. So I figured I would go over it today, compare it to the Dragoon gear, see if it's actually worth upgrading or not. So let's start first with the fire gear, which is pretty darn good if I do say so myself. The hat gives 33 damage and 14 power pip, and the boots give 9 power pip and 40 damage. Just for comparison here, I'm just getting this right off my ultimate gear guide. You can see the Dragoon hat gives 3 less damage and on the hat, and then 4 less damage on the boots. So you can see that if you think about it, that extra 7 damage you get makes up for the Dragoon set. So technically, if you want, upgrading this in regards to damage isn't actually all that bad. It does have it is viable to actually upgrade to this new gear set if you want to. The only thing that I would say, and this is one huge thing to focus on, is that the new gear set's cards on it aren't nearly as good as the Dragoon set. Like, the Dragoon set had the mass fire trap or the mass trap on the hat, and then it had a sharpened blade and potent trap on the boots. The new set you can see here doesn't really have anything good on it. It has like an elemental blade and like a steel charm. Overall, is nothing really that amazing, and it's just kind of meh. In regards to the other gear pieces though, beyond the hat and boots, I would say the robe is not worth it for most offensive, or for any offensive set. I've probably told you guys this before, but I hate what they're doing with the new robes. All the new robes are extremely useless. They don't have any damage, and there's just no point in ever using them. The wand is pretty darn good. It does 26 damage, which is pretty solid, and it has 83 crit. It's good. I would probably put it decently on level with the Fresh Baker staff. You can see actually it does put it on level with the Fresh Baker staff. It gives more damage, more crit, so it's actually decently worth it to get that wand upgrade. Yeah, theme upgrades are never worth it nowadays in my opinion. The amulet is okay. It's better than the Dragoon charm, but it doesn't give that 4 pip hit all spell, so you might want to still keep the Dragoon charm. And then the new ring doesn't give as much damage as the executive ring, so it's really up to you if you want to upgrade that or not. Now, in regard to the deck is actually a major upgrade all around. It gives more crit, more block, more health. It gives that pip, and I've been told that they have a deck for each of the slots. So these decks really are worth it to upgrade. They seem like the new best deck. If you want a new deck, here you go, a solid deck upgrade. Now that that's out of the way, let's go over the actual other gear rather than just keeping it limited to fire. Starting with ice. I would say ice doesn't really have as much reason to upgrade. I would say the boots definitely look like an upgrade option. You can see they give, you know, a little bit more power pip, a little bit more resist, more damage. Overall, the boots are pretty darn solid, so if you want to upgrade to the boots, go ahead. For damage gear, you might want to upgrade to the hat if you just have a damage set, but otherwise, realistically, the Dragoon hat is probably still a little bit better all around because it's a bit more balanced. If you want to just go for this, it's definitely a viable option. In regards to the wand, it's still an upgrade. The amulet gives 8% resist, which is actually really good. It is a solid resist amulet. If you want to go for resist, go for that, but otherwise it's pretty good, and then the deck is good as well. But overall, the gear set's a decent upgrade. It's just whether you want to sacrifice some of your stats like accuracy and whatnot. For the storm set, you can see here the hat gives 3 extra damage, the boots give 4 extra damage, which seems a bit average for this set. The wand only gives 1 extra damage, so upgrading it really isn't as important. That's really it, to be honest, in regard to everything else. Ultimately, from what I've seen from this gear set, it's really if you want to, and if you're struggling to craft Dragoon gear. It doesn't seem all that important. But let's quickly go over the spiritual gear. I'm not going to go over each of it individually. This is very, very small on my screen. Let me, all right, again, I'm not going to go over all this because it would take way too long. But you can see here, the death gear actually, as an upgrade, gives 9 extra damage. So, as a death damage set, I would say this new gear set is pretty solid. Like, it is actually legitimately better than the Dragoon gear if you think about it, because the Dragoon gear gives the gear set of an extra 5% damage, I think, for death. So an extra 9% damage, that's actually 4% better than the Dragoon gear. So objectively, it's not that bad to upgrade, and I would think that some of them, it's not going to be that bad to upgrade, but ultimately, let's wrap up this video, because I don't want this to drag on too long. What have we learned today? Well, the new gear sets, I would say, are pretty solid. They aren't the best. If you want to upgrade for a damage set, it's pretty solid. The boots are pretty solid no matter what school you are, so if you want the boots and you want a defensive set, the boots seem to work pretty well as well. A lot of them have a decently high resist while having a decently high damage as well. Ultimately, the hat and boots are better than the Dragoon or on par with the Dragoon, so if you're too lazy to farm for the Dragoon, this could be an option as well. The decks are pretty solid too. So what were my expectations going into this gear set, and am I disappointed or am I happy? I will say I am a little bit disappointed because I thought that we would finally be getting maybe an Athame upgrade or a robe upgrade, but ultimately we got neither because I think KingsIsle doesn't want to make a robe, doesn't want to make any good damaging robes anymore. I don't know why, but they just refuse to. They've refused to for about 50 levels now, and I'm having a bad feeling that it's going to continue on for quite a few more. It's a little bit annoying because I've used the Malastare robe for about 50 levels now, and I'm going to keep using it right up until they give a damage one. It's a bit disappointing. In regards to the Athame, really, I'm just waiting for the day that they put Power Pip on one of these Athames. I don't know why they're not, but they're not. And that immediately makes it that I'm probably never going to use the Athame because I'm just not going to trade off all the other stats just for that extra 1%, 2% damage, right? So that's what I would say I was expecting going into this, and I'm a little bit disappointed. But the gear set isn't too bad, I would say. The deck especially is pretty good if you want a pip deck that gives solid amounts of stats. So ultimately, that's it. Let me know what you think about this new gear set in the comments below. Are you disappointed? Do you like it? Will you be upgrading to it when the live realm comes out? I think I might, honestly, because something to know about me is that I actually don't have the Dragoon set bonus on my fire or my death because I'm too lazy to farm for the Dragoon gear. So I might actually try to go for this gear on my fire and my death especially, who doesn't have any Dragoon gear, he just has Vanguard gear. I might try to go for it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That's it for today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to drop a like, hit the sub button, go support me financially on Patreon if you wish, and join my Discord server. We're at 290 members, getting very close to 300. We have a pretty cool community there. But that's it. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.